Trend that's calling for widespread school violence across the country today. Fargo police are now telling Valley News Live they are aware of the threat and they are increasing patrols around school buildings today. This is a live look at South High School in Fargo. We have also learned that there will be an increased police presence at Moorhead and Roseau schools today as well. Many police departments across the country are boosting their patrols, and school districts are urging parents to help children use social media responsibly. They're also encouraging parents to talk to their children about how to report any suspicious activity that they might see online or at school. 6:52 now on this Monday morning. What am I doing? I'm going back in time.
Man, Jordan.
I'm so excited about work here. I want to come right back. It's Friday, and it's Friday. It sure is. What do we got in the weather, Nathan?
Thanks, Jordan. Yeah, happy Friday, everybody. A live look at our Dakota Magic Casino Skycam shows a bit of a breeze out there in the Hankinson area, but by and large, things are quiet for us at this time in the Hankinson area. But I do expect some changes there, especially off toward the south as we go through our Friday afternoon and into the evening tonight. But look at that, Devil's Lake, 2 degrees below zero, that current air temperature. 1 degree above in Fargo, 2 above in Grand Forks. Thief is the big winner there, 5 degrees there, with some clouds up toward the north, keeping those temperatures up north a bit more mild at this hour. Winter weather advisory continues for until midnight tonight. For areas mainly south of the I-94 corridor, we're expecting the best chance of some measurable snowfall here, some light, fluffy snowfall making its way through our southern counties. And this does include I-94 right there in the Fergus Falls area. So for those commuters heading out to the Twin Cities, what have you, for today, keep that in mind. That could encounter some slippery roadways on 94 as we head toward the post-work hours tonight. So for your Friday night plans in the cities, just keep that in mind. May encounter some slippery conditions there. Already seeing some of the snowfall making its way into our far southern counties there, right along the I-29 corridor, moving up toward the Sisseton area. But in our region right now, things are quiet. Seeing some snowfall out toward north of Bismarck. Not expecting much impact in our neck of the woods from that stuff. I'm watching that stuff there in South Dakota to make its way up from south to north. But for the bus stop, here's how things are looking for the kiddos. Cold out there this morning. Off to school, of course, 2 degrees there around bus stop time today. So have that ears covered, the mittens on the kiddos, the big coats there. A good idea for today. Then on the way home from school in Fargo, expecting some snow showers for us there in the afternoon around 3 o'clock. Temperatures, though, in the lower teens, so it's going to be cold for a good chunk of the day, and even colder at some of those bus stops up in the northern valley. Now, here's how things are looking, of course, in toward the weekend. We've got, of course, this is actually the incorrect 7-day planner, so, of course, we're talking 2 to 5 inches of snowfall total in our southern counties, and, of course, cold today. We're quiet, though, for the weekend. We're looking at, well, near 10 degrees for the high tomorrow in Fargo, and then 20s for highs on Sunday. So, Jordan, that's what we've got going on. Quiet for the weekend, which is the good news after some snow showers off toward the south today.
Yeah, definitely some things people need to watch out for, though. Thank you, Nathan. It is now 6:55. The former Brooklyn Center police officer accused of killing Dante Wright last spring is expected to take the stand in her own defense today. Kim Potter says she meant to use a taser on Wright that day, but accidentally pulled her gun. She is now charged with manslaughter. Potter's police chief at the time that she shot and killed Wright says he saw no violation of department policy in Potter's actions at the scene. Tim Gannon resigned as chief in Brooklyn Center 2 days after that April 11th shooting. He testified yesterday that he was forced out because he wouldn't immediately fire Potter, who resigned the same day he did. Gannon says he looked at the body camera video right after the shooting, and recently he looked at dash cam video, and he says he saw no violation of policy in Potter's actions at the scene. Hennepin County Sheriff Dave Hutchinson is pleading guilty to DWI in connection with a rollover crash near Alexandria on December 8th. Sheriff Hutchinson released a statement yesterday saying the incident was a wake-up call for him and that he understands its seriousness. He has enrolled in an outpatient treatment program to address his issues with alcohol. UND aviation officials are talking about the mental health of their students after the suspected suicide of a 19-year-old 2 months ago. 19-year-old John Hauser was a commercial aviation student from Chicago who died October 18th when his plane crashed near Buxton, North Dakota. It's believed the crash was intentional. UND aerospace leaders brought together industry experts to address the pilot's mental health. The main message: it's okay to ask for help, and it generally won't threaten their ability to fly. They hope they can instill a culture of talking early and talking often. One man in Rochester, Minnesota was killed during the big storm that hit the southern part of the state on Wednesday when a 40-foot tree fell on him outside of his home. First responders found 65-year-old Keith Dickman under the tree next to his pickup. He had been hit in the head. And power is slowly coming back on this morning for thousands of customers impacted when Minnesota saw that first ever confirmed tornado in December on Wednesday night. The hardest hit city was Heartland in Freeborn County. That's just northwest of Albert Lee. One man says his two-car garage ended up a block away.
Well, I was sitting on the couch and a loud noise happened or sirens went off. I went down the basement and just a loud bang. Everything went quiet and dark and come out and the garage is gone. And the roof was off the house.
Good thing he got to the basement when he did. The tornado was spawned by a larger storm system that produced hurricane-force winds across the Great Plains and the Midwest. Police have now finally identified the victim in Monday's car-pedestrian crash, and they needed the FBI database to do it. Police say 45-year-old Robert Powers of Minot stepped out in front of a car to cross 25th Street at 13th Avenue and was hit by a driver who had a green light. Fargo PD initially asked for help from the public to ID the man, but they then matched his fingerprints in an FBI database. The driver of that car is not being charged in the crash. The FBI is now involved in the case of a 15-year-old Minnesota girl who has been missing for nearly 2 months. Nevaeh Kingbird of Bemidji was originally reported as a runaway, but has not been in contact with family or friends since. Her picture's on your screen right now. Take a look. If you have any information about where she is, contact Bemidji Police or your local law enforcement. A Jamestown police officer is recovering from injuries after being assaulted while responding to a welfare check. Police were called to an apartment on Wednesday for a fight between family members. An officer intervened and the suspect then started punching him, leaving cuts and bruises on the officer's face. 29-year-old Seth Burkle was then arrested for assault and assault on a peace officer. A New York Mills police officer has lost his battle with COVID-19. Officer Ron Smith died Wednesday after serving 14 years in law enforcement. He was admitted to the Staples Hospital at the end of November and then transferred to Duluth, where he was put on a ventilator. He worked for the departments in New York Mills, Perham, and Wadena, and then a part-time deputy with the Wadena County Sheriff's Office. Let's get the answer now to that question of the morning on Facebook. Our question today is, according to a new survey, this is the #1 thing we buy in the wrong size, or a gift rather. The answer, those gloves. And you're going to need them today. It's cold. Bundle up out there. And thanks for watching us here on the Valley today.